Hey guys, and welcome back to another Crypto News Roundup where we go over some of the top headlines and news stories over the last week. So now most of the content I make is pretty short form in nature. So there's all the TikTok or YouTube short videos, the Crypto Minute, my 2-minute explainer videos, things like that. So anyway, I've been kind of enjoying making these and doing more of a longer form hangout and chat with you guys about everything that has been happening in the crypto markets this last week. So here is a quick outline of the different news stories we'll be chatting about in the video today. Everything from the Tesla news, Morgan Stanley opening up Bitcoin investing, an update on Nigeria, some NFT fun, the Coinbase CFTC fine, and as you can see, lots more. So before we jump into the first story, though, I do want to say a quick thank you to my sponsor, Cake Wallet. They are a longtime supporter of this channel, and so you've probably seen them around. But for those who don't know who they are, they're a Monero wallet where you can store, send, receive, and exchange your Monero easily in a non-custodial way. They're also completely open source and available in both iOS and Android, and they also just recently added a Bitcoin wallet. So make sure to check them out. They're at cakewallet.com, and I will leave a link below in the video description. Okay, so to kick things off, one of the news stories that I think has been my favorite that, has gotten a lot of attention is that you can now purchase a Tesla with Bitcoin. And right now it's currently only available in the US, but Elon did tweet saying that they hope to expand it more internationally later this year. Now, this would be cool news on its own. I mean, anytime you have a major brand start to accept Bitcoin like that, it's just great exposure and, kind of validates things in the eye of the common consumer. But what's really makes this news cool is they aren't just converting that Bitcoin into fiat, but they're instead going to keep it as Bitcoin. So now this may not be completely surprising considering that they did just buy $1.5 billion of Bitcoin to put on their balance sheet back in January, but it's honestly still a really bold statement because it basically says that long term they have more faith in Bitcoin than they do in the US dollar. I mean, I would too if I'd literally just made more money with Bitcoin than selling cars. It's kind of crazy. But anyway, I'll wrap up talking about Tesla, I promise. But between Tesla and Elon himself, they always seem to somehow make it into the crypto news these days. So the next story, and I promise this will be my last thing on Elon and Tesla and all that. But we got to talk about Elon's NFT tweet. The techno king of Tesla came out with a tweet saying that he's selling this song about NFTs as an NFT, and of course it had some good beats, and the NFT itself had quite a few layers to it. It had a ring around it saying HODL, one that says NFT trophy, one saying computers never sleep. He actually got a bid for $1 million on it and decided to turn it down. Basically, he tweeted out saying he just didn't really feel good about it and he was going to pass, but I mean, he is the king of memes and apparently now also the techno king, and so I'm sure he just couldn't pass up on the opportunity to create something that's kind of poking fun at all of this, but in the end, I think he just didn't want to actually accept money for it. Okay, before we hop into the next story, I do want to show you guys this awesome video series that my friends at Arc.io are putting together. So Market Square by Arc.io just released a new video called The Blockchains of Ready Player One. They basically take popular movies or video games and spin a whole narrative about crypto and different topics like the use of blockchain and VR, and shows how blockchain powers real games, NFTs, virtual reality experiences, oracles. It's honestly really well done in terms of both production value and creativity. I was really impressed. So anyway, thank you to my friends at Arc.io for being a sponsor of this video, and I will leave a link to their Ready Player One video below so that you can check it out. All right, next up is Grayscale. So they crossed 45 billion in AUM and are now one of the largest asset managers in the world. Yes, you heard me right, not just in crypto, but in general in the world. So Bitcoin is definitely their biggest holding. They have 650,000 BTC under their management, which is about 38 billion of that 45 billion figure I just mentioned. And then their second is Ethereum, which makes sense. So they have about 5.7 billion in ETH under their management, and they actually just bought another 45,000 ETH in the last 30 days. So can you guess their third largest? It is Litecoin, and they hold about $300 million of LTC, which, as you can see, is actually a really big drop from BTC and ETH. So when it comes to Grayscale investors, those two definitely are still hands down taking the cake. Let's talk about what happened in Turkey this last week. So Google searches for Bitcoin increased by 566%, and that was directly following the lira dumping 14%. Now, according to data from Google Trends, the number of searches for Bitcoin spiked, like I said, 566%, and that was just hours immediately following the news of the lira dumping in value. So it dropped 14% in a flash dip after Turkey's President Erdogan, I hope I'm saying that right, fired the governor of the country's central bank. So the abrupt removal of this guy was said to have shocked both domestic and foreign investors, which is kind of what this dip was being credited to. But I mean, my take from this, it's honestly really cool that so many people immediate reaction was to look into Bitcoin when their fiat currency was losing value. And so I think that's really promising that the general message and ethos of Bitcoin is starting to get out there. And hopefully more people are starting to understand the underlying fundamental value of Bitcoin and why having peer-to-peer, decentralized, not controlled by government, deflationary currency is actually a good idea. So, okay, next up, we got Coinbase. When are they not in the news, right? For something. So anyway, they just had a $6.5 million fine with the CFTC. And so they've decided to delay their stock listing. They had previously been expected to go public sometime in March. But on March 19th, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission announced a settlement with Coinbase over charges that the company inaccurately reported trading data on Bitcoin. Okay, and that also an employee self-traded to create the illusion of volume and demand for Litecoin. So anyway, hot mess over there. I still do think that Coinbase going public is really exciting news in general for the crypto space, even though, as you guys know, I generally do like to poke fun at them. So anyway, this will be fun to continue to watch as it all unfolds. All right. Michael Saylor came out saying that his mission is to fix the balance sheets of the world. And obviously, I'm a big fan of what he's done for the space and think it's really cool that he's not just sitting back saying he's satisfied with all the money MicroStrategy has made, but is actively looking to help other companies replicate their success. So if you guys remember, he had that big seminar for corporations and institutions where he really walked them through how to navigate all of this. Because honestly, even though most of us are used to Bitcoin and crypto and how to navigate all these things, it's still a big unknown that can be very intimidating for companies and institutions that are new to all of this, especially considering the volume that they're dealing with. I mean, some of them are looking to buy millions, billions of dollars, right? So in general, companies adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet and institutions buying Bitcoin have clearly been huge catalysts in this bull run. So it's always fun to get to report on more developments in that arena, and I don't know, keep going, Michael Saylor. Okay. Next up, Satoshi Nakamoto is now the 20th richest person in the world. So wallets that are believed to belong to he, she, they, whoever you are, Satoshi, now holds $60 billion of Bitcoin. That is a lot of money, my friends. So personally, I think it's pretty awesome that the 20th richest person in the world is literally an anonymous internet money person. You guys, we can talk all day about different celebrities or institutions embracing crypto, but that's kind of a mic drop moment on its own. So, okay, well, let's see what is happening in Nigeria. Let's check in. So they've been in the news a ton for trying to ban crypto, and then the demand for Bitcoin rising and seeing a massive influx of local peer-to-peer Bitcoin transactions. But a senior official from the Central Bank of Nigeria, or the CBN, basically came out rejecting any claims that the bank has ever banned crypto. So the CBN official Adamu Lamtek reportedly said that the bank was trying to protect the banking sector from cryptocurrencies. Oh no, but it didn't actually ban crypto trading itself. Now, this clarification comes about a month after Nigeria's central bank told all banks to immediately cancel their services for customers who buy, sell, or trade cryptocurrencies, which honestly to me still kind of sounds like banning crypto. However, it still really isn't super clear what prompted the bank's initial decision and what happened to make them come out with such a drastic decision. The country has honestly had a complicated relationship with crypto, so it will be interesting to continue to watch this all unfold. So next up, Morgan Stanley. Okay, institutional banking powerhouse Morgan Stanley has given Bitcoin its nod of approval. So anyway, based on an internal memo that was reported by CNBC, Morgan Stanley is planning to give clients access to Bitcoin investing, but just under really specific conditions. So participants in Morgan Stanley's wealth management wing can gain access to Bitcoin through Galaxy Digital's Bitcoin Fund, and a few other funds that are kind of under their umbrella as well. Although the allocation is capped at 2.5% of the client's overall wealth, and they must be able to carry accredited investor status, hold capital at Morgan Stanley, valuing $2 million or more, and maintain a certain account history. Now, the minimum raises to $5 million for investment firm clientele. So, yes, this is only for the elite level of clientele, but still very, very bullish news nonetheless. Okay, so we earlier talked about the important role of institutions and how that's played into this bull run. But last quarter, retail actually outbought institutions, which could mean retail FOMO is starting to kick in. I mean, honestly, I've been a little surprised it hasn't earlier. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Retail investors are just emotional and hard to predict, but they honestly were what fueled the last 2017 bull run almost entirely. So it's interesting to see them start to jump in now. Honestly, a bull run fueled by institutional and corporate buying feels way more stable to me, if there's such a thing as the word stable and Bitcoin together. Just because, I mean, these big corporations have to present long-term projections and plans to their board of trustees and get approval before buying Bitcoin. And so they probably have more of a long-term mindset and won't just be emotionally selling on a whim during a dip like a retail investor might. So even though I'm glad that we're seeing retail get more involved, it has honestly been very validating to see the amount of acceptance from the institutional side of things this time around. Okay, guys, as always, it's been a busy week in crypto. There's so many more stories I could have covered. Like, we could keep going, but I think I'll call it a wrap for this week and go ahead and end the video. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I know this is longer form content than what you guys are used to seeing from me, so I'd love to hear your thoughts about this style of video in the comment section below, if you feel like sharing and just kind of telling me what you think. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign off, but love you guys. Thank you for being here. Keep stacking, and I will see you next week.